Alright, so this is almost kind of like a second part to the X-Intercept video because there's a video on X-Intercepts, and usually when you have to find X-Intercepts, you also have to find Y-Intercepts. So this is going to be the video on Y-Intercepts. So just to go over really briefly what a Y-Intercept is. A Y-Intercept is the point when your graph is intersecting that Y-axis. Okay, so this point right here that the red arrow is pointing to, that is your y-intercept. It is the moment when your x value is 0. If you look, like this is 1, this is -1, so this value right here is when x is 0. And that would be 1, 2, 3, boom, you have your y-intercept. Okay, so let's get into actual problems and what it means to solve for the y-intercept. So when we were talking about the x-intercept, with the x-intercept, it's when you set y equal to 0. Well, that would mean that if for x-intercept you set y equal to 0, for the y-intercept you set x equal to 0. In a lot of cases, solving for the y-intercept is much, much easier than it is to solve for the x-intercept. So in this problem here, first of all, this problem is in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, and we're taught in math that b is our y-intercept. Now watch, in case you've never had a teacher that explained it to you, remember, to solve for y-intercept, you set the x equal to 0, so watch what happens when we set that x equal to 0. So that x is now going to be 0. Okay, everything else is going to stay exactly the same. When I solve for that, 0 plus 2, y equals 2. If you look back at our formula, y equals mx plus b plus 2, it's the same exact thing. That's why that works in that formula. So I would have my y-intercept at that 0, 2 point, 0, 2, right? Like I said, there's the video on how to graph in slope-intercept form, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but we would have our other point, you know, down 1 over 1 or up 1 over 1. Once you have 2 points, you can graph. Boom, we have our line. But that's how easy it is to solve for the y-intercept in your slope-intercept form or for a linear function. Just set that x equal to 0, you get that y by itself, and you have it solved. In a quadratic, I'm going to use the same exact example that we did when we were watching the x-intercept video. So as you can see, I already got our x-intercepts, which we solved in the x-intercept video. I graphed them, so our blue point here at -3, 0, and our green point here at 2, 0. Remember, in order to get that y-intercept, set x equal to 0. Watch how easy this is. We have 0, and we have 0. I'm going to fill in everything else. I just want those zeros to kind of stand out. Okay, 0 squared, 0 times 0, just 0. 0, okay, well that's just a 0, and we have our -6. 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 minus 6, -6. That means, let's make this stand out, we'll make it red, okay? Our y equals -6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means our graph is somehow going to connect all of these dots here. Now we don't know exactly where our vertex is, but we're not too worried about what the graph looks like right now. All we're worried about is that point right there, our y-intercept. Hopefully you guys see how to solve for the y-intercept. Remember, you just set that x equal to 0, and it's that easy to solve for the y-intercept. If you need help with the x-intercept, there's the video on that. If you still don't understand the graphs, there's the video on that also. Hopefully this helps. Thank you.